The right news at the right time. This is Fox 14 News at 5:30.
2 firefighters face criminal charges for hurting somebody they love. Details on the investigation and what the fire chief is saying about those allegations. And a Social Security scam is hitting our area. The 2 things you could hear when a scammer calls that could be a warning sign something is wrong. Plus, we warned you about coyotes and bears, but bobcats? How a town in Arkansas plans to get rid of them. Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Sarah Scarlett. First on Fox, Monroe police now believe 6 people have ties to a shooting at Parkview Apartments last Monday. They've identified 5, but caught only 2. 28-year-old Jamarius Harris is charged with aggravated assault and illegal use of a weapon and felon carrying a firearm. A 16-year-old is charged with aggravated assault and illegal handgun usage. Police want your help catching 3 more and identifying a 4th suspect. 18-year-old Jalen Harris, 25-year-old Jesse Smith, 24-year-old Bobby Booker, and the unknown juvenile suspect. They all face the same charges as Jamarius Harris. Consider all of them armed and dangerous. And if you know where they are, call Monroe Police or Crime Stoppers at the numbers on your screen. Bastrop police need your help with 2 thefts. According to police, a simple robbery took place on South Washington Street on Monday, but was just reported this morning. They also began investigating a purse snatching in the Family Dollar parking lot on East Madison last night. Police do not believe the 2 are connected. If you have any information, call Bastrop Police at 318-281-1322 or Crime Stoppers at 318-281-0050. And a massive drug roundup in Lincoln Parish has landed 12 people in jail. The narcotics enforcement team is looking for at least 19 more. Officers from Ruston Police, Grambling Police, Lincoln Parish Sheriff's Office, and the 3rd Judicial District Attorney's Office started early Monday morning seizing drugs, money, and vehicles tied to Kelvin Drayton. Police say Drayton is one of the bigger players in the drug business. He's among those arrested so far. Nearly 100 arrest warrants for over 30 people were issued after an undercover investigation by the Lincoln Parish Narcotics Enforcement Team. Investigators say the popularity of methamphetamines was one of the driving forces in the arrest roundup. To see the mugshots of all those arrested, go to myarklamiss.com. The Monroe Fire Department is investigating after 2 administrators were arrested for domestic violence. Fox 14's Bria Jones was out at the Public Safety Center talking to Chief Terry Williams about the policies that are in place. She has the latest.
Sarah, these documents that I obtained from the courthouse outline the alleged domestic abuse allegations against Monroe Fire Captain Daniel Dean and fire investigator David Hill.
Tuesday, Washita Parish deputies arrested Dean after they were called to his home last Friday. According to the arrest affidavit, Dean's wife says he threw her on the bed and punched her in the back of the head with a closed fist several times. When officers arrived, Dean was away in Delhi, but stated he didn't physically harm his wife. A day before his arrest, deputies say he tried to purchase a gun, but was declined due to an active protective order his wife had out against him. As for David Hill, this isn't his first run-in with the law. Hill and his wife have been arrested on charges of insurance fraud by Louisiana State Police. Deputies say 2 weeks ago he slapped his wife in front of their son. When officers arrived, they say the child told them his father cornered his mother and struck her in the face. Both Hill's wife and son have a restraining order against him. Hill and Dean are both charged with domestic abuse battery. Chief Terry Williams issued this statement on the recent arrest, which says, in part, the Monroe Fire Department takes any charge of domestic violence very seriously. In no way do we condone any type of domestic violence and or criminal activity.
As of right now, Chief Williams tells me he's unsure if Dean will be placed on administrative leave. As for Hill, he says that investigation is still pending. Reporting in Monroe, Bria Jones, Fox 14 News.
You can read Chief Williams' full statement on myarklamiss.com. Louisiana ranks 2nd in the nation for women killed by men. That's according to the local Family Justice Center. Today, the group kicked off Domestic Violence Awareness Month, hosting their Hope in the Light of Day event, featuring keynote speakers who shared their tragic past with domestic disputes, as well as spreading the message to end domestic violence around the world.
We do have a very, very big problem here in our community, but our community is standing strong against domestic violence and working to end it. We've done a lot of work with our SAFE Task Force. Through all of those individuals, we've come together and we stand against domestic violence and hold batters accountable.
The Family Justice Center says they plan to host several more events throughout the month. There's another scam to be on the lookout for, and it's hitting our area heavily. Fox 14's Randy Ayala has been speaking to victims and officials. Randy, who's the scam targeting?
Sarah, the Better Business Bureau tells me this phone scam is targeting people who receive government benefits. And it's not just in our area, it's nationwide. Scammers will call saying your social security number has been suspended or an action has been taken against you. Phrases that seem a little off. It's usually a computer-generated message known as a robocall. And whatever you do, don't call that number back.
The Federal Trade Commission and the Federal Communication Commission have outlawed these types of phone calls. So if your phone's ringing off the wall, I assure you that a legitimate business or government office is not calling you.
Coming up at 9, you'll hear from Kathy Lofton. She and her husband were almost victims of this scam and how you can stop these calls altogether. In the Media Control Center, Randy Ayala, Fox 14 News.
Thanks, Randy. Residents in a Magnolia neighborhood are looking for options after spotting a bobcat. Neighbors say the bobcat was found last week after someone ran over it in the road. This all happened on Highway 19 right outside of the city limits. We spoke with one woman who says she's seen just about everything, including wild hogs. She says she leaves for work when it's still dark out, and she fears for her safety.
I'm like, okay, we got wild hogs, now we got bobcats. You know, I've never seen a bobcat that close anywhere except for pictures, but not just right there where I live. And it was a baby. It wasn't, you know, so the mother has to be somewhere.
At 9, Fox 14's Sheriff Cobbs talks to residents in the area, and they say it's normal to see wild animals, but something needs to be done. Flu season is approaching, and El Dorado schools are preparing their students. Northwest Elementary held their flu clinic today in their cafeteria. It was put on by the Arkansas Department of Health. They offer it to preschools and elementaries across the state. School officials say that this gives parents more options on keeping their child safe during flu season.
In this school, we have about 508 students, and so that really provides a wide opportunity for so many more children to be able to get the vaccine when some parents may not be able to get to a doctor's office or take them to the health department.
According to the CDC, most experts believe that flu viruses spread mainly by tiny droplets that are made when people with the flu cough, sneeze, or talk. Coming up on Fox 14, busloads of protesters arriving in Washington. It's all for an afternoon protest against the nomination of Judge Brett Kavanaugh. We'll have the latest from Washington.
Forecast looks to shift a little bit as we go into the weekend. Clouds and rain back in, and they could be around for a while. We'll look at the forecast as Fox 14 News at 5:30 continues.
Eye on Washita. The opinions and views expressed are those of the Washita citizen and do not necessarily reflect those of Nexstar Broadcasting, this station, its sponsors, or employees.
I'm Sam Hanna, publisher of the Washita Citizen. A West Monroe man whose brother is the chief judge at 4th Judicial District Court was sentenced to only a few years probation, at worst, for drug dealing offenses since 2015. And since 2007, most of the numerous criminal charges against Mark Everett Lehigh were dismissed at the district court. Lehigh has a record of several drug dealing charges extending to the 1980s. Lehigh's brother is Judge Scott Lehigh, who was elected to the district court bench in 2006. Most recently, Lehigh was in drug court on a possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine, but he was unable to have the charge adjudicated. 4th Judicial District Court Judge Sharon Marchman refused to take any action on 3 cases involving Lehigh, including the possession of meth with intent to distribute, because every judge at the district court had recused from hearing Lehigh's cases. There's much more to the story about Mark Everett Lehigh and the steps court officials have taken that kept him out of prison, which you can read about in this week's edition of the Washita Citizen. Plus, there's been some drama at Sterlington Town Hall over which member of the town council is calling the shots in light of Mayor Vern Breland's decision to resign from office. Subscribe to the Washita Citizen today by calling 396-0602 or visit the Citizen online at washitacitizen.com.
News sponsored by bankruptcy attorney Sam Henry.
Who's making the big plays? Find out who's the Beast of the Week. Nominate your favorite high school football star on myarklist.com now. Tune in tonight when we'll announce last week's Beast of the Week on Fox 14 News at 9. Brought to you by these sponsors. Find your freedom with the all-new Fox 14 mobile sports app, featuring faster highlights and scores to keep you in the game. And it's free. The Fox 14 mobile sports app for Apple and Android. Brought to you by Ross Downs, attorney at law.
The other guys think 2% for a 36-month CD is good. Unbelievable. Come get a 30-month CD for 3%. 3% at Homeland Bank. Where's your money?
Morrispart really helped me when I needed it the most. He got me $175,000. Injured in a car wreck? Do what I did. Call Morrispart.
Call me now at 807-1000 or go to morrispart.com.
For the latest information on new jobs and industry in our area, watch Top of Louisiana from the North Louisiana Economic Partnership. Fridays on Fox 14 News and Louisiana Living. Brought to you by Origin Bank.
Think you've got this season figured out? Then your picks could win you $50,000 in the Pro Football Challenge. Register for your chance to win at myarclemis.com. Brought to you by J. Russell Kitchen and Restaurant Supply, as well as Guerrero and Guerrero.
The 15th annual Northeast Louisiana Celtic Festival comes to Caroli Park. Saturday, October 6th from 10 till 9. Hosted by the West Monroe West Washita Chamber of Commerce. Presented by the City of West Monroe. Don't miss it.
The other guys think 2% for a 36-month CD is good. Unbelievable. Come get a 30-month CD for 3%. 3% at Homeland Bank. Where's your money?
Fox 14 News at 5:30 continues.
Today, United States senators reviewed the expanded FBI investigation into the sexual misconduct allegations against Judge Kavanaugh. Washington correspondent Alexandra Limon reports thousands of protesters from around the country took to the streets in Washington with a message for those senators.
Say it loud, say it clear. Kavanaugh is not welcome here.
Thousands came to Washington.
No justice, no seat. No justice, no seats!
They gathered at the federal courthouse where Brett Kavanaugh is currently an appeals court judge and marched to the U.S. Supreme Court. They hope to send a message to key senators.
Who's our senator? Susan Collins! How does she need to vote? No!
Do you feel like at this point this protest could still make a difference?
I hope it makes a difference.
Despite the outcry from Democrats and protesters like these, Republicans say there's no new information or corroborating evidence that came from the FBI report.
We've had the lowest, most vile, most dishonest attempt at character assassination that I've ever seen in my whole 42 years.
People who took to the streets in Washington say they don't believe the FBI investigation was as thorough as it should have been.
I think it was just a small little report they did to appease us.
While the numbers are not on their side, with Republicans holding a 51-49 majority in the Senate, protesters say all they have left is their voices and hope.
I think it's all we have in our democracy.
In Washington, Alexandra Limon.
Well, happening here at home, it's pretty hot.
Gonna stay that way for at least one more day.
Maybe we should talk about the weather?
Yeah.
Talk about it. Get it? It's National Taco Day.
I didn't get it. I want a taco now. Forecast is coming up next.
It's a difference you can see and taste. Everyday tap water versus water filtered through the new Chief Water Purification System. Installed at your home or business, this system removes chlorine, chemicals, bad taste, and odors from your municipal water source. No more ring buildup around bathtubs. This system will extend the life of your washing machine, dishwasher, and hot water heater. No replacement filters, just a water hose to backflush the filter to keep it clean. It's a clear choice. Call your local distributor at Ken's Coffee Service today.
All Things Hunting, Sunday nights at 9 on Fox 14.
Hey kids, how would you like to forecast the weather with me? Just pick up your Kids Cast coloring sheet at any Washita Valley Federal Credit Union or print it on myarclemis.com. Then color the weather and mail it in. Each Friday on Fox 14 News at 5:30, someone who sent in their artwork will appear in our Kids Cast weather segment. It could easily be you.
KidsCast, sponsored by Ouachita Valley Federal Credit Union. For more details, visit myarklamiss.com.
For over 30 years, I've been telling everyone injured in car wrecks to make that one call.
After my accident, I called Morris Bart for free. He got me $100,000 on my case.
I'm calling Morris Bart. Now it's your turn to call. One call, that's all.
High school football in the Arklamiss. It's where hometown legends are made. It's where loyal fans come together every Friday night. Some call it an obsession. At NBC 10, we call it a proud tradition. And no one covers your team like our team. News, sponsored by Calhoun Grocery, your finest meat market. Lloyd.
Start off looking at the new live storm tracker Doppler radar brought to you by E. Orb Young. And we did have some isolated blips around the radar screen today. Not there anymore, but they were there earlier this afternoon. And if you did catch a shower, it was probably just enough to really steam up the atmosphere because they were very short-lived. Just a few spots here and there, most of those gone from the radar screen. A few widely scattered showers along the Gulf coastline. Pretty much a carbon copy of what we ran into yesterday. Old frontal system still bringing some showers. Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, back into portions of the mid-Mississippi Valley. And some more widespread showers. And yes, you can even see some snow echoes on the radar on the far top part of your screen. Now, they're in southern Canada, but it's a sign of the times, I guess. And also, storms continue to stir out in West Texas. For us, for the time being, not a whole lot will change, even with this frontal system to our north. And the reason being, big ridge of high pressure out anchored across the southeast. And that's really what we're focused on now is the upper level winds show that big clockwise circulation anchored across the southeastern United States. That's our dome of high pressure I've been talking about for several days. But changes out to the west as you see a huge dip in the jet stream through the west coast. Now, as we go through the next couple of days, I've also overlaid absolute vorticity. What does that mean to you? Probably not much, but it's kind of like spin, energy in the atmosphere. So just kind of follow with me here as we show that that storm system is coming east. We get a nice little weak upper level impulse that moves through portions of the Gulf Coast region. Mid-level impulse moves through the Gulf Coast region. That combined with the lead disturbance with this storm system should scour out some scattered storms for Saturday afternoon. Again, this is midday Saturday. But once we get beyond that, these weak disturbances will just kind of keep traversing through. The parent storm system, the big dip in the jet stream, still well out to our west. So all of that has to come eastward. And we were eventually kind of worried about this system kind of stalling out to our west. It looks like it's going to stay open and continue to slowly trudge eastward. So these weak upper level disturbances that move through will all be responsible for helping at least spark some scattered storms and the unsettled pattern that will hang with us through much of next week. Temperatures are in the upper 80s to low 90s at this point. They'll probably be there again tomorrow, but then again, changes in store after that. Lows tonight, low 70s, a few passing clouds, staying muggy, winds generally calm. Afternoon highs tomorrow in the low 90s. Again, partly to mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon. Rain chances not at zero, but close to it, and winds generally out of the south. A look at the rest of the forecast. Again, the rain chances are not that much higher going into next week, but we have a little bit higher confidence in the forecast at this point. So, again, not everyone will see rain every day, but those upper-level disturbances will continue to scatter out storms pretty much every day next week, and some of those rain chances will be higher than others, and we'll continue to pinpoint those as we get closer. The added clouds and the rain knocking highs back into the mid-80s. Now, this does also have a cold front attached to it that will eventually move through, but it's such a slow-moving system that a lot of the air behind it will warm up, so it's not a big, drastic cool-down. But, again, some changes in store. The upper-level pattern changes completely going into next week.
Okay, thanks, Jared.
Yep.
Coming up on Fox 14 at 5:30, a bookstore chain put on a for sale sign, and Popeyes goes for the gold. We'll have your business news after the break.
Have a good old time at the 12th Annual Teddy's Bear Fest, October 13th in Tallulah. Headlined by Suede and Osgood and Black. Admission is free. Visit LouisianaTravel.com to plan your trip today.
Hey, Morris Bart, I just wanted to thank you. I don't know what I'd do after my accident without you.
You may be like James. He was injured in a car wreck and called. We got him $160,000. Just call me. One call, that's all.
El Jarrito Mexican Grill and Cantina. Delicious Mexican cuisine made fresh daily and served up for you in a fun and friendly atmosphere. Get a taste of traditional Mexican items like fajitas, quesadillas, tacos, or burritos. Fill your craving with a steak and shrimp or lobster meal, a juicy T-bone or ribeye, all grilled to perfection over a pecan wood fire. Don't forget happy hour, 2-for-1 margaritas, Taco Tuesdays, and on Mondays, kids eat free. El Jarrito Mexican Grill and Cantina. Always a delicious choice.
For life-changing results and exceptional care, the Gray Clinic is always there. You can lose the weight, we'll show you the way. It's a brighter day when you see Dr. Gray. Be healthy, be happy, look and feel your best. See Dr. Gray, don't settle for less. Lose the weight, look and feel great. See Dr. Gray at the Gray Clinic.
Advantage Health Plan, we're always on the go. That's why we get our news from the Fox 14 NBC 10 mobile news app. Download the app today to get faster news updates and breaking news alerts. Best of all, it's free. Brought to you by Advantage Health Plan.
Family-friendly fun at the 12th Annual Teddy's Bear Fest, October 13th in Tallulah. There's fun and educational activities for the kids, great food, live animals, and music all day long. Admission is free. Visit LouisianaTravel.com to plan your trip today.
More people are lying on their mortgage applications. Demand is strong and inventory is tight. And according to a new study from CoreLogic, 1 in 109 mortgage applications indicated fraud in the second quarter of 2018. That's a 12% increase over the same quarter last year. So why are more people lying? One of the main factors is that banks are increasing their use of third-party lenders to issue loans. You might remember this practice from the lead-up to the housing crisis from back in 2008. A new chapter for Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble stock soars after talks of a possible sale. The board noted several possible buyers, including founder, who's the chairman and the largest shareholder, Leonard Riggio. The board said it has appointed a special committee to review the offers. Struggling retailer Sears is shutting down at least 3 more stores. 1 Sears and 1 Kmart in New York and another Kmart in Virginia. This comes just about a month after announcing the company's plans to close 13 Kmart stores and 33 Sears locations in November. The company has closed several hundred stores in recent years. Sears Holdings facing a key deadline this month to make a $134 million debt payment. And Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen is popping the champagne in celebration of its 3,000th restaurant. It's serving up boneless chicken wings dipped in champagne. And if that wasn't fancy enough, they're also coated in 24-karat gold. The downside, you can only get them today at 4 locations in New York City, Newark, New Jersey, Anaheim, and of course, New Orleans. Well, that's your business news. Up next, one last look at your 7-day forecast. Stay with us.
I'm Charles Hogan with the Hogan Agency, specializing in insurance, bonding, and safety services, supporting individuals, families, and businesses. Visit us on Ask the Experts on myarklamiss.com.
Ouachita Parish is a beautiful and unique place to live.
We pride ourselves on family and community.
We're united behind a promise to you. No matter where a crime is committed, we will all work together to solve it.
If you witness a crime, please dial 911 and report it. If you would like to remain anonymous, you can contact Crime Stoppers. You may even get a reward.
Remember, as officers, we are your brothers, sisters, neighbors, and friends. Ouachita Parish is our home, and with your help, we can keep our home safe.
It's the first of its kind in the Arklamis, with accuracy second to none. Presenting the new live Storm Tracker Doppler radar, cutting-edge technology that revolutionizes how NBC 10 keeps you and your family safe in severe weather, giving you more time to prepare. In fact, at least 6 minutes more than any other area news station. And in severe weather, 6 minutes could save your life. Get the 6-minute advantage with the Arklamis Storm Team and live Storm Tracker Doppler radar on Fox 14, keeping your family safe.
I wasn't hurt that bad in my wreck, but the insurance company wasn't offering me anything.
I'm so glad Janet called. She was in a minor car wreck and was being lowballed by the insurance company. She called and we got her $42,250.
The heat is on, and the Saints got the fever. Join us every Friday at 9:30 p.m. with Brian Holland and guests as they reflect on prior plays in last week's game, make their predictions, and chart the Saints' successes and miscues.
Go Black and Gold. Catch the fever every Friday at 9:30 p.m. only on Fox 14. Sponsored by Go Auto Insurance.
Be informed. Download the all-new KTVE KARD weather app and get the 6-minute advantage in weather tracking. That means weather alerts in real time, down to the street where you live. Available free for iOS and Android. Brought to you by Sam Henry, the bankruptcy attorney.
Sheldon needs some liquid courage.
Here, see if this one works.
Why did the chicken cross the Mobius strip? To get to the same side. Bazinga!
Next, Big Bang.
Tonight at 6:30 on Fox 14. Weather, sponsored by Homeland Bank.
Saturday afternoon, and again, the unsettled pattern continuing through much of next week. Not everyone will see rain every day, and those rain chances at 30%, they could get dropped to 20 or bumped up to 40 on any given day, really. Depends on the actual disturbances themselves as they roll through, but it will keep the rain in the forecast off and on through much of next week. Highs will take a dip. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that. Back into the mid-80s by next Wednesday or Thursday. Morning lows near 70, not too bad there either.
So the weekend forecast is kind of uncertain right now, but it could drop a little bit.
I think we're going to deal with rain for the weekend. It won't be continuous, and hopefully not, because I got to move on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see.
All right, well, that's it for us. We'll see you back here at 9. Have a great night.